Welcome to the Trill MBA Show. I'm your host, Felicia Ann Rose A. Nuha, aka the Trillest MBA you will ever know. And I'm here to help you survive and thrive in corporate America by giving you the truth and being as real as only I can be. Happy Sunday, everybody. Welcome back to the show. I'm so glad you decided to join us. If you're new, go to trillinba.com, sign up for some freebies. I got some great career tips and things for you there. And then you can also be aware of all the new stuff that's coming. So very excited about all of that. So today, I want to talk about something I've talked about before. But in light of the Rona, we definitely need to go revisit, right? So like last season in season 3, episode 27, I talked about the tactics you need to deploy after your mid-year to set you up for success. So it was me talking about all the things you needed to do once you got your mid-year feedback. Very tactical episode. So if you haven't listened to it, go back and listen to it. This is the perfect time if you've had your mid-year or you're about to have your mid-year. But now in the midst of Rona and the pandemic and all the other shit going on, I wanted to revisit this and come back and tell you some additional things that you need to do and think about as we are managing our careers in a pandemic. But up first, Corporate Warriors Spotlight. Corporate Warriors Spotlight. Today, our Corporate Warriors Spotlight goes to Nicole Jones. Nicole Jones is the Executive Vice President and General Counsel for Cigna Healthcare. Nicole has oversight of all legal, regulatory, compliance, and government affairs and communications functions for Cigna. Whew, I'm tired already for you, sis. Okay. Jones rejoined Cigna after serving as Senior Vice President and General Counsel for Lincoln Financial. From 2006 to 2010, Jones was Cigna's Deputy General Counsel, Corporate Secretary, and Chief Counsel of Domestic Health Service, Securities, and Investment Law. Ooh, child, so you just do a lot, basically. That's what this is telling me. Jones has held increasingly responsible leadership roles in corporate law departments at Johnson & Johnson, MCI, Inc., and International Paper Company. She holds a bachelor's degree from Fordham University and earned a JD from New York University. The reason I picked Nicole this week is that sis has in 2 articles, so it was not 1, but 2 at different times, she has been in this group of the highest paid general counsels. And mind you, she's not the highest paid, okay? Like, I'm praying for the day that a sister gets that highest paid spot, right? But she is in that number. And so, last week was Black Women's Equal Pay Day. I just wanted to highlight Nicole. I don't know if you really read between the lines of her bio that I just read, but sis left Cigna, okay? Went to another company that I'm for sure pay her more money, was a badass there. And then Cigna was like, oh, hey, girl, hey, so you want to come back? And she was like, how many coins are you going to give me? And they were like, oh, well, here are your things, Nicole. And she was like, okay. And she went back. So this is a lesson in building relationships and keeping them intact. Always doing your best and beasting it out. Like, I'm sure she would tell me, yeah, there's some shit that went on, but here's how I handled it. Like a G. And I collected my coins. So I want Nicole's outward journey and reading a little bit between the lines to be an inspiration to us to keep fighting, keep doing our best, keep building relationships, and keep going after our coins. Always, ladies, always ask for more. So, Nicole Jones, cheers to you, sis. Get it. Now, the first thing I want to talk about is what we gonna do about our plans and objectives in the midst of the Rona, right? Because real talk, everything changed. Like everything, right? Like we was coming out of Christmas, going into January, like whoop, whoop, new year, new objectives, new me, gonna get it. Gonna work on this promotion. Yeah, give me some money. Give me my money, right? We were all excited. 2020 was gonna be my year. Yeah. So listen, if you've set your objectives, right? Make sure you go back and revisit them and make sure you've documented how they changed, especially in the midst of the Rona. And let's say the organization has been using you to fill in here, fill in there. You know, everybody's like, we got to be agile. We got to be agile. If I had a shot for how many fucking times a day I heard the word agile, I'd be drunk by noon every goddamn day, right? Agile. They don't even know what the fuck that means. All they're really saying is, hey, be flexible for me to just drive you fucking crazy. That's what I take that to mean. That's fine. But we really, really, really want to stay focused. Do not let the Rona get you unfocused. So make sure if you're in a company where you have formal objectives, go back in this mid-year, sit down with your boss and get real brass tacks in the formality of everything. Make sure you update any system that needs to be updated. Make sure you align on what the plan is going forward and make sure that you're on track to meet or exceed all the expectations and objectives. Okay? Stay on track. Do not get lulled into this sense of, oh, it's the Rona. Oh, if your boss has not set up a meeting like this with you, you need to set up this meeting with your boss and you need to have this conversation. Because see, this is how niggas get blindsided at the end of the year and you be like, oh, but I worked so hard and I was agile and I just did everything. And they're like, well, actually, we had set these objectives. They're going to do their shit. Don't trust these motherfuckers. They're going to try you. And that's why you always still got to remain on point. Okay? Now, documentation will always be king. If you don't already have a weekly one-on-one set up with your manager, you need to do this and implement this now. And you need to drive the agenda. So one of the bullet points on your agenda should be feedback. And you need to tell your manager, hey, we're in a new agile workspace. This is unprecedented. Another word that makes for a great drinking game, right? So this is unprecedented. And I just need us to make sure that we're always on the same page. And so in this unprecedented times, if you're not comfortable, if you're not used to giving me feedback, guess what? Now you need to do this because we are working remotely. We are not as connected. And so some immediate feedback you would give me in the office, you're now not able to give me. So we have to be intentional and we have to plan for this so that I make sure and you make sure that we are on track, that we are tracking to objectives. We are meeting, if not exceeding them, because I expect for myself excellence. And you say these words. These are the words you use. Like legit. You want to write that down? Rewind. Write it down. Use it. Those are good words. Okay? And one thing I like to use in my gathering of feedback from my boss is I like to use the start, stop, continue framework. And so it works like this. Hey, boss, what I need from you is I need you to tell me what are one or two things that I need to stop doing that you see that I'm doing? What are one or two things that I need to start doing? And what are one or two things that I should continue doing that I'm doing great or that I need to continue doing and maybe put the gas pedal on? Like, this is the feedback I need from you. So if you're not getting good feedback from your boss, use that framework. Start, stop, continue. And that should help them frame it up in a way that it makes sense. I think the hardest thing about feedback is that we as human beings, we're bad communicators. Like, we're really, really bad. We use acronyms. Like, I hate acronyms so bad, y'all. Like, real talk. One of my coworkers emailed me, and in the email, she said, so Felicia, are you going to be the POC for blah, 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 blah? And you know, it's Black Lives Matter, right? And all this stuff going on. So in my head, I was like, yeah, nigga, I'm the only POC on the goddamn team. Like, what the fuck? And I had to take a step back, right? Because that's me and my brain. I had to take a step back. I had to be like, wait a minute. I don't think that means person of color. But my brain just could not get out of that mode. And I was like, what the fuck does POC mean? Oh my God. Like, I was so confused. Like, I was legit confused. I emailed her back. I was like, yo, what is POC in this context? Because I legit don't know. And she was like, point of contact. And I was like, oh, that would make better sense. Yeah. But like, legit, y'all, I don't know if that's Rona brain. It's just too much, right? And so you have to drive for clarity. So use this start, stop, continue in your one-on-ones, in other meetings with other coworkers, cross-functionals, leadership. Use that to drive for clarity when asking for feedback about your performance. Trust. It is a great framework to use. And then you can always ask follow-up questions, but make sure you do not leave that meeting confused about anything. In fact, recap game strong right now, guys. Write that recap and say, this is what I heard. Did I miss anything? Here's the start, stop, continue. And here's what I'm going to do moving forward. And I'll circle back in our next one-on-one next week. Okay? Get tight on that shit. Because the tighter you are on that shit, and it seems so little and it's so easy not to do, y'all, but the tighter you are on that shit, the more organized you'll seem, the more put together and polished you'll come across, and the more leadership presence you will be perceived as having. And then the more people will notice and the more they will want to take you under their wings, groom you, advocate for you, and sponsor for you. So it's these little things that mean a lot, okay? So now, after the break, I answer a listener letter who is worried that she might have been in her role a little too long. Is that even a thing? Can you be in role too long? We'll find out after the break. Hey guys, you hear me talk about build relationships, but how? Build credibility, but how? Well, I am launching a course, When at Work. The registration is open. Go to trillandba.com/courses and sign up for a registration call. There, we'll talk about what your goals are, what you're needing, and let's see if you're a good fit for this 6-week course. And yes, the course is 6 weeks, and then you will have support for the rest of the year after the course. So quickly go on over trillandba.com/courses and sign up for your registration call. The class starts September 8th. Registration closes September 6th. So don't wait till the last minute, y'all. Okay? I'm only accepting a small number of people. This is a 6-week intensive, and I'm telling you, if you are ready to be promoted and you just haven't figured out exactly how to do it, I got you. So head on over to trilliumba.com/courses and sign up today. All right, let's get back to the show. All right, and we are back, and we have a listener letter. All right, dear TrillMBA, I've been with my company for a little over 5 years, and in my current role for a little over 2.5 years. I just had my mid-year with my manager, and she gave me wonderful feedback, but when I asked her about promotion, she said that I needed more time and role. I didn't want to come off as defensive, so I just said, okay, and moved on. I believe I'm ready to be promoted to senior manager, but without my manager signing off, I won't be able to move into a new role in the new company. I want to stay with the company, but I don't want to be in my current role too long, as that may signal a performance issue inside and outside of the company. What should I do to push for a promotion? Whoa, this is interesting. So a couple of thoughts. Number one, congratulations. Good job on listening and observing and taking the time to plan your next step. You did not get defensive. That is perfect. So many times we want to defend and try to convince otherwise in the moment. That shit don't work, y'all. It's best to say, okay, got it, and move on, and then strategize a separate conversation with additional and very intentional questions. Okay? So good job, girl. Good job. I think one thing I noticed, right? So you must have at least been promoted once, or you took a lateral. I don't know. You didn't say that, but I'm going to assume that you've gotten one promotion about 2 years in, and now you're looking for the second promotion, and you're at that 2.5-year mark. So I'm not clear on what industry you're in, so I'm just going to go with generalities. It's been 2.5 years. I can understand where you're getting the itch. I think what you need to really focus on, though, is understanding, like, what are the core competencies of a senior manager, and have you demonstrated that you're already punching at that weight? And have you been given the projects and the visibility to demonstrate that? So one of the rare times, and I mean rare, right? Because most of the time, I'm telling you, stay the fuck away from HR. Don't go over there. They trying to kill us, right? Like, I don't trust HR. And I got friends, I mean, like real, true, ride or die, my niggas, my friends who work in HR. And I will look at them and I'll be like, we're friends outside of work. We don't work together. I don't work at your company. We cool. But at work, I still wouldn't trust your ass. And I know you, and I love you, and I know your heart. But at the end of the day, you got to get your coins, and I got to get mine. And corporate America hates us. So here we are. I don't trust HR. Never trust HR. But make friends with HR. And this is why. You want to go to HR and you want to ask them questions around, what does promotability look like? You want to understand, what are the capabilities that I need to demonstrate to the organization to show that I'm ready for the senior manager role? And then also you want to ask, like, are there any plans in place for my succession and my promotion? And if not, if there aren't plans in place, is there anything I could be doing differently to show that I'm ready? You know, ask the HR person for feedback. They be in the calibrations. And if you're real nice and you make friends, they might tell you some shit they not even supposed to really tell your ass. So it's always good to make friends with HR just don't go to HR complaining. Like, never complain to HR. That's where we go wrong. They hear complaining motherfuckers all day long. If you go in there happy, like, hey girl, hey, I'm so excited to be here. I'm just wanting to get your thought leadership on how I can grow my career here. I don't want anything, negative. I'm not complaining. I just want to kind of pick your brain if that's okay, right? Make HR your friend, but understand HR is not your friend, okay? So just make sure when you meet with HR, you're very intentional. But this is good to prep for this meeting with your boss. And so after you get information, I want you to set up a development conversation with your manager. So the title of the meeting should be Development Conversation. This is not your one-on-one, your weekly. This is not anything else. This is some random day at some random time where they have time on the calendar. It's for an hour. You set up this meeting for an hour, block it out, and let them know, like, hey, I need some advice and counsel. I want to understand from you, like, development needs for the next level and the next level. So the senior manager level, and then I'm assuming either associate director or director would be probably next. So make sure that you're extending it to those two levels, because what you don't want to do is you don't want to come across as you're just so focused on getting promoted and that you're short-sighted. You want to show executive maturity and that you really are focused on your development, not necessarily getting promoted. Okay? So make sure you stay focused. Now, we know what the deal is. Look, we know we trying to get promoted. We know that's all we trying to do. And we know they on some fuck shit. And so this is how you get the information you need so you can do the things you need to do so you can get your promotion. Okay? Makes sense? If not, hit me up, ask@trilliumba.com. If it's a quick question, I'll answer it. If not, you got to set up time. You know what it is. All right. So listen, after the break, I'm going to leave you with the most important thing you need to know and do in order to manage your career successfully during this pandemic. So stay tuned. Hey, how big is your network? Are we connected? You listen to the show. I know a lot of people. So why haven't I seen you on the internet? Here are a couple things you can do to plug into the Trill MBA network. One, you can head on over to LinkedIn and follow us on our page @Trill MBA Show on all social. So LinkedIn, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. Go on over there and connect with me. Say hi, at me, talk to me. I want to hear from you. What are you going through? How can I help? Right? You can always email me at ask@trilliumba.com. You can always go to trilliumba.com, sign up for our freebies. We're always adding new guides and tips and tricks and tactics and videos to help you through this thing called corporate workplace life. Whew, it's a lot, I know. So connect with me. Let me know how I can help you. Let's get these promotions, ladies. Listen, I want you to get more coins, and I want you to help the next crop of women behind you, okay? So let's get it. And if you need anything, hit me up, okay? @TrillMBA Show. Everywhere on the internet. Now, let's get back to the show. The most important thing. All right, guys, we are back with the most important thing. So now, understand that during the Rona, the basics of how people operate in the workplace are the same, okay? You have to build relationships and credibility in order to succeed, point blank, period. Like, that is the game. It's who you know. Your work does not speak for you. You speak for you. And actually, other motherfuckers speak for you. That's this game. So now, What changes in this pandemic is the way we do this and how we show up doing it, right? So we've moved from drive-bys at cubicles to pings on Teams, right? We now have video chats for our one-on-ones instead of sitting at our boss's desk or, having coffee chats downstairs. Now we're like scheduling these weird team meetings, right? As coffee chats, and we're sitting at home and looking at kids and dogs and whatever. Like, it's just different how we go about the relationship building, but it's still happening. And you just have to be that much more intentional about it, because it's so easy to disappear now into your house, into your home, where the only connection point is your computer screen. And you have to intentionally stop that, because it is so comforting not to talk to or look at these motherfuckers on a daily basis. I already know, sis. I know. But what you are doing when you fall into that comfort is you are limiting your career at this company. And now more than ever, it is so important to get as much visibility as possible. And now more than ever, it might actually be a little easier to get more visibility with senior leaders, because guess what? Everybody on this email and everybody on this ping, and this is the only real way we can communicate. So it's not like you have to go through the admin to reach out to senior leaders now. Use this time to your advantage. When I tell you I have talked to multiple senior leaders now, girl, you think I'm playing? Yes, my ignorant ass. Except I don't act ignorant at work. I only act ignorant here and with my friends, because that's code switching. You guys know this, okay? So use this to your advantage though, right? And understand, if you want to get ahead in your company, you still have to do the fundamentals. You have to do your best at your work product, right? You got to bring people along on the journeys of you bringing your work along to the organization. That still has to happen. It just happens differently. And it's especially important to do this because it's harder to get information now. We have to get more intentional. And you have to gain the appropriate alignment at the appropriate times along in all of your projects, right? Same things, just we have to be more focused. And so I want you to spend 60% of your time on building relationships and credibility in the organization. And I want you to spend 40% of your time rocking it out on your projects, right? The point is, guys, you gotta stay focused and don't let folks and their personal or their professional drama distract you from your goal, which is getting promotions and getting our coins. That is the goal. That's why you're here. That's why you listen to this show. Okay? And the most important thing is you do it so you can pay it forward, so we can have representation and we can pull each other up behind us. Right? One pandemic don't stop no show, boo. We got this. So with your mid-year, take that feedback that you can use, and the rest of that shit, if they on some bullshit, discard it. You know the difference. Use your gut. Trust your gut. Right? And then I want you to get super intentional on how you use your work time to build the career of your dreams. Okay? This process of climbing the corporate ladder is only as hard as we make it for ourselves. I know. I tell myself all the time, but these motherfuckers, no. See, if you give them the energy, right? You don't manage your energy. You let them distract you. That's on you, boo. So manage your energy. Be intentional with your time. Protect your peace. Protect your sanity at all costs. Okay? You got this. You got this. You can do this. We gonna make it. And soon we'll be able to get together and have brunch before you know it without wearing masks and then we can hug each other when we're half drunk off of mimosas at Saturday brunch. It's coming. So keep the faith, hang in there, stay positive, and we're going to make it. You got this. Now, if you need some help or advice about a specific situation, go to trillandba.com/coaching to schedule a 30-minute consultation with me to strategize and walk through your specific work situation. In addition, you can always email me at ask@trillandba.com. If you have a listener letter you want me to read on the air, make sure you put listener letter in the subject line. I'm happy to either answer your question or connect you to the right person if I don't have the answer. Again, that's trillandba.com/coaching to schedule a 30-minute consulting call with me. That'll be $40. Y'all know that goes towards the show. Or you can send me an email at ask@trillandba.com to submit your question or concern. All right, y'all, let's get out of here. Until next time, keep it trill. The Trill MBA Show is a Fair World Corp. LLC production. Executive produced by Felicia and Rose Inuha. Sound design and editing by Chris Mann with Podshaper. Theme music is Kick Push by Ryan Little. Keep it trill every day, y'all.